sit with yourself, meditate, however that looks, take a walk, and connect with who you are, whether you like that person or not, and just address that person, be with that person, fall in love with that person, and then everything else falls into place. And then you kind of have clarity of like, this is what I'm meant to do,
Mm.
and this is what I'm gonna do. And once you mix that with ambition, crazy, delirious ambition, then you can F and do anything.
Welcome to Extraordinary Stories. I'm Aaron Bear, and I'm with my co-host,
Forbes Shannon.
and we have a very special guest that I probably nominated first, but you jumped on that nomination.
I did jump on that bandwagon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we have
Christine Butler,
The one and only.
the one and only.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for inviting me to the studio.
How does it feel on that side?
It feels really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels really good. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't have to think too much.
we're gonna make her think.
Oh.
Get ready.
Okay.
Well, you were nominated by Aaron Bear. How do you know Aaron?
I know Aaron Bear because of the Nerd Network. I showed up at the Nerd Network looking for people to write stories for.
Mm-hmm.
And I
We're
walked,
writing a story together.
We are. And I walked straight up to him and asked him his name and talked. He asked me out for coffee. I didn't go. 2 weeks later, we went out for sushi, though, and
Yeah.
the rest is history.
The night you met him, he
Yeah.
called me on the way home. He's like, I met the one dude. Yeah. At the Nerd Network. I was like, you're with a nerd? Yeah. And here you are.
I found the hottest nerd in the world. Anyways.
Move on.
Yeah.
And we've met by proxy, and I'm so
Yeah.
glad that you're in my life. It's
Yeah.
been really awesome getting to know you.
Yeah, I think it's such a blessing that not only did I get Aaron, right, but I got one of the coolest friends that I have now. Like,
Thanks.
yeah, and I think that it's really funny that Aaron happened to find the 2 ghostwriters in Arizona,
Yeah.
right? And like now we're one big bunch.
I'm building an empire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got a publishing company coming
That's
out.
right.
Yeah.
We now have 25 books,
Yeah.
5 bestsellers.
Mhm.
We have Christine has an archive of books she's going to be coming out with.
Yeah.
That's right.
Mhm.
Forbes, you have I Don't Know Shit.
Yep.
You know, and
Yeah.
I have a bunch of books that now I have 2 ghostwriters to help me write. So
Yeah.
it's a story to come true.
Why do you like ghostwriting?
You know, I just love people. For a long time, I thought I just loved children, which is why I went to school to be a teacher. But as I matured a bit, I started talking to people. I heard their stories, and a lot of times I'd be like, "Dude, you really need to write a book. That's crazy, right? That's
Mhm.
insane." And they'd be like, "No, there's nothing extraordinary about me, right?" And so it was me kind of starting my own thing, leaving teaching to start writing, and so it was the love of people, to be honest with you. I love people. Their stories can be told in a really mediocre way, but being able to dive into someone's mind and pull out the things that maybe they're too afraid to speak on, and just saying like, like twisting it to a way that they can see themselves in a better light, if that makes sense, right? So
Yeah.
extracting their stories and just showing people who they really are based off of their own words, right? I mean, the interview process.
Yeah.
It's just a ton of talking. And a lot of things I think get fallen off to the side because people think that they're not like details that deserve to be highlighted. But I think one of my things, I love to grab their chaos and turn it into something beautiful.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you have a gift for leaning into the uncomfortable. You call it audacity or audacious. Like has that always been a thing since you've met her? Has that been a thing in your whole life? Like, I'm curious where.
100%. This is the most authentic, audacious woman I've ever met, and she holds me to a higher standard and holds me accountable. And I think that's why she's so good at extracting, these stories and these books and different things, but also just in relationships. I just want to be a better man because of that woman. So
That's sweet.
I don't want this to be a podcast about a relationship, though. But Christine, you're a mom.
Yes.
I think you're embracing a new opportunity of becoming a bigger part of Moms for America, and really bringing your audacious spirit to, what I'll say is catalyze moms because they are so important to the fabric of everything that we have in this world.
Yeah.
Can you just share you became a mom early,
Yeah.
so you have a lot of moms in you, and
Yeah.
we'll kind of explain a little bit of that.
Yeah. So I did have my children very, very early, when people were going off to college,
Mm,
and starting foundations. I was, having a baby.
mm,
Um, it obviously is very scary being a child having a child,
mm.
but it was the best thing that ever happened to me, and so right from the get-go of being an adult, I was a mom. So that's all I know to be, is a mom.
Mm.
And you say I'm many moms, but yeah, like I've pretty much done it all when it comes to momhood.
I got my bingo sheet ready.
Yeah,
Let's go.
let's go. Military mom,
Check.
right? That's
Mm-hmm.
that's insane. Traveling around the world. Thank you so much for anybody who serves. Amazing stuff. Single mom
Mm-hmm.
to teen mom,
Mm-hmm.
Republican mom, which
Mm-hmm.
is a really scary thing to say in today's society.
Mm,
But perfect segue to Moms for America.
mm,
Because I have all of these different boxes of momhood, I, thanks to you guys, actually introduced me to somebody named Austin Jack. Austin Jack introduced me to Kimberly Fletcher, all part of the Extraordinary Circle,
mm-hmm.
amazing people. And I got to know Kimberly's story about how she used her superpower, which was being a mom, and created an entire movement of mothers who, if you feel like you're not, uh, uh, what's the word? Like you don't have the
Represented.
authority,
Yeah.
yeah, or you're not represented well to make a change in the world.
Mm,
You actually can, and you can
mm-hmm.
do that by instilling the right things into your child's mind and
Mm-hmm.
soul.
Mm-hmm.
And for the most part, I mean, I don't want to make it political, but at the end of the day, you have to lean towards the side that makes more sense. Like you lean towards common sense in my book.
Mm,
And moms, regardless of what side you lean on, right or left, I think it's the time currently right now to stand up, to rise up and actually do something for our children, because we're fighting over the wrong things.
Mom knows best.
We're fighting over the wrong things. Like
Mm-hmm.
we don't have a future in America if we are not focused on the kids. And
Mm-hmm.
that's just any way you look at it, left or right, that's
Mm-hmm.
how you have to look at it.
Mm-hmm.
So in that, because I've actually gotten to know your two boys, and they're these two boys that are going to make such an impact on the world because
Such cool kids. Yeah.
of your spirit, and Forbes
Mhm.
is actually a godfather to one, and
Mm-hmm.
we just have this opportunity that to be in your presence as a mom and as a leader. And I got the opportunity to go to Mar-a-Lago with Christine, and we went to a Moms for America annual event that raised over $1 million. And Christine became this shining leader in the room
Mm.
that really just connected all these moms, and she started weaving the web that day
Yeah.
of how, and I see your influence and power, and I see that, your future is untapped with
Oh, yeah.
potential. And being a mom, like, what's the one thing, as we protect our children, what are the
Mm.
things that you want to create in this world, that you want to make a change? How do you see this kind of next chapter in your life as you kind of grow your
Mm.
energy?
Yeah. Again, like I'm just solely focused on the children. I think when I take myself out of the equation, I'm still just a mom, right? Like my sole focus, and any mom's focus, is their children. That's just how it's always gonna go. There is no love like a mother's love.
Mm-hmm.
And when you have that passionate love for your children, and then you take a step back and look at the world, you can only fight for those children, for their futures, for what they're eating, for what they're seeing on TV, for the
Mhm.
country that is being built from the ground up, because we have to start over, and we have to start over with our children, and that is from ground zero. I mean, it's teaching them that, you to be a good human, be a good
Yeah.
human. Um, your vote really does matter. You should love the country that you're brought up in. This is the greatest country in the world. I don't care what anybody says. It is. And if we don't instill that love of liberty,
Mhm.
and in our children, like, we don't stand a chance.
Yeah. I do want to point out that if the USA men's goalie wasn't as good, Canada would have won that game. Okay, I have to point out the team Canada.
I'll give
part.
you that one. I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one.
Hockey's another one of your hobbies. Yeah,
For
Mhm.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. We love watching you play hockey. The kids are just obsessed with watching Forbes do the winning goal.
Well, Liam said he could skate better than me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Yeah.
But you checked off all these different boxes of being a mom, and you have all these different experiences, and your kids have been able to have so many different experiences.
Mhm.
So
Good and bad.
you're always talking about it's important for the kids, right?
Mhm.
So like what and the reason I brought up hockey as a curveball is because like you have so many different interests
Yeah.
and you bring your kids into them and you want to teach your kids so many different things. Like,
Yeah.
at Cape Cod, we taught them poker,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like, what is it about giving these kids these different experiences that you think is important to helping them understand for the next
Yeah.
generation?
Well, if you look at a child, they are quite literally a blank sheet,
Mm,
right? They have so much potential,
mm,
and you never know what they're really gonna love and be good
mm,
at, right?
mhm, mhm.
And so just showing them everything, like me and Liam and Aaron, we're prepping to hike the Grand Canyon rim to rim, right? And that's a
Crazy.
huge,
That's
audacious
crazy.
thing to do at
Did you
13.
agree to that or she just signed you up for that?
She signed me up.
I'll tell
Ever
you.
since I met her, I've been that guy that just says yes.
Yeah, okay.
I love it.
Literally skydiving, ayahuasca retreats, you name it. I'm just like, yes.
Month one in our
tattoos.
relationship, yeah, all of it. Yeah, let's just do it. Why not? But yeah, I think it's kids follow examples, right?
Mm,
And
mhm.
so showing them that try it all, say yes to everything, try it all, and then who knows what they're really gonna love and be passionate about. And so kids are like the best way I can say they're just pure potential to
Mm,
anything that they want to be. Right? Like if they want to be an astronaut, hell yeah, you can be. If
mhm,
you want to be a professional hockey player, hell yeah, you can be.
mhm.
So it's instilling that American, what would you call it? That American pride that you can
Grit
do
or
anything.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Well, it's the
People from
American dream,
it's the
right?
American
Yeah.
dream and
Mhm,
the new American dream, right?
mhm,
Because what is the old American dream, right?
mhm,
So the new American dream would be love the country you're in
mm,
and make it better,
mm,
right? Like when people say, let's defund the police during what, 2020?
mhm,
Like, how would that do any good for America to
mhm,
defund the police? Wouldn't we fund them more and instill proper values and instill proper,
mhm,
tactics or whatever? Like we have to shift our mindset that we can do anything.
mm.
And kids are just like their little brains are so moldable, and so innocent, so pure that
Well, it's something that you guys have both, like, been teaching me is, you're not anti something, you're just pro the other side,
yeah,
you
you
know?
can't be against something, you have to be for something. And that's
Mm,
something that Aaron taught me,
mm, mhm.
I can say, don't touch the stove all day.
Yeah.
But if I say, hey, touch the stove and you're going to get burnt,
Mm,
then it registers a little bit differently,
mhm,
right? So always be
mhm.
for
Yeah,
something, never
we
against something.
don't do drugs, just created a lot of drugs.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Just say no.
Just say no.
Say no.
It's like telling your kids not to do something is for sure certain to make them try it.
Yeah,
That's that what you resist persists. But
exactly.
so Christine, like, early in your life, you were dealt these circumstances of having a baby and getting married very, very early and going off the military. And then what's so impressive is that you went and got a degree and became a teacher and you still followed your dreams, which so many people having a lot of have to deal with so many different things early in your
Yeah.
life.
Mhm.
Why'd you want to become a teacher? Because it comes back to the kids, but tell us what you grew up and what you saw for your future as you grew up. And obviously now you're starting to see a bigger future than you could ever imagine. But
Yeah.
but walk us through because there's a lot of our listers want to, how did you get from this mindset to this
Mm,
mindset to this mindset?
mhm.
Yeah, I'm insane. I don't know. I just, I think my mom was a teacher. She was an English teacher in Mexico. So I always grew up with like my mom teaching me and telling me that like magic or reading was magic. She's like, you
Mm,
can go anywhere, you can become any character if you just read a book, open up a book, and it's
right.
magic. And so, um, just the passion of learning, I think, followed me throughout my childhood up until adulthood. But once I did start teaching for a while, the fun in it, I hate to say it, but the fun in it kind of fell away. And it was because of the politics that were involved. It was the things that people were pushing on my desk that I just wasn't like
Mm,
I didn't agree with.
mhm,
And that's something that Moms for America preaches. Parents do have more power than you think you do in curriculum, in what
mm,
your kids see and read and all that stuff. But go to Moms for America, you'll get a ton of stuff there.
mhm, mm,
But yeah, I think teaching just it was a beautiful thing because I wanted to make a difference in people's lives and children's lives. And then it went to me wanting to make a difference in adults' lives.
mm,
And now I want to make a difference in women's life, moms'
mm,
lives. And so I love not knowing where my future's going, but
mhm.
having a good idea of where it's going. Cause then now I have so many opportunities and possibilities
Yeah.
that, I'm not shutting off to. So I just kind of keep going.
So, I mean, you're a phenomenal writer.
Thank you.
And I'm curious, like, how does that superpower of storytelling go into? How does that fit into your vision of helping moms, helping women,
Yeah.
helping the next generation of kids? Like, how is storytelling an asset for you there, and how do you use it?
Yeah. So, it depending on how I'm telling the story. Am I telling my story or am I telling their story? But it's one of the same, right? Extracting what you're thinking in your mind, and putting it down on paper is something that is a lot harder to do than just articulating it for some people.
Mm.
But for me, articulating things verbally is a lot harder than just writing something down. And so, so I, yeah,
You and me both, girl.
so I think it's just fun for me, right? Like it
Mm,
stems from the fun of telling a story at any angle I want to angle it at or, or highlight
mm,
things. So it's just really fun for me to create,
mm,
like
mhm,
you're almost like playing God in a way,
mm,
right? You can create
mm,
any story. Like I think of Pride and Prejudice and Jane Austen just creates these characters that are just like we still talk about them today.
mhm,
They're incredible uh people that don't even exist. And
mhm,
that's insane to me. Like it's
Well,
mhm,
magic
mhm,
well, my prediction for your future is you're going to be a literary giant.
for sure.
mhm.
With the amount of writing and the love you have for it.
Yeah, I see it. Mhm,
You've helped Forbes and I's writing just by being your partner in that. And I think one thing that's exciting about Extraordinary is we're putting together these experiences,
Yeah.
and
mhm,
there's a lot of them. And you're very good. With Moms for America, you're going to create a bunch of different events and experiences. For Extraordinary, you are, and we're capturing these extraordinary stories and creating
Yeah.
this extraordinary collective of individuals.
Mhm.
But coming up, we're putting together a couple writers retreats,
Yes.
and just your ability to teach, your ability to extract stories. Can you share a little bit about these superpowers coming together and why
mm,
you're in the right place at the right time? Because you're literally, to all your listeners, they can literally go on a retreat with you
Yeah.
mm,
and get this opportunity to write a book with you, with your mind.
Yeah.
mhm,
Tell us a little bit about how that came together for you and what you want to create with that.
Yeah. Well, extraordinary. We kind of do it all here. We
mhm,
write, we do retreats, we do events.
mhm,
And so that is the perfect hub for stories.
mm,
Like everything's a story, right?
mhm,
And so we're going to Costa Rica later in the fall, right? And we're
mhm,
all three going to be hosting these retreats. These retreats are going to entangle story writing, extraordinary health, which is
mhm,
another lab
mhm,
that we have here at Extraordinary, but bringing storytelling into a place like Costa Rica where it's just calm and quiet and we're talking about our feelings and our emotions and we're getting healthy, right? We're learning to surf.
mhm,
That is the perfect environment to open your mind up to write and putting those emotions, those things on paper. So put yourself in the right environment. We can create the best outline of any book that you're
mhm,
wanting to write. So if you're listening and
mm,
you've ever thought about wanting to write your book, but you have no idea where to start
mm,
and you don't want to rely on something like ChatGPT
mhm,
and just do it from like a real place of authorship,
mhm,
come out to Costa Rica, come out to one of Victoria's retreats, and it'll be a place where you're going to fall in love with writing. And I can
mm,
promise you that just the
mhm.
passion, anybody can be a writer, right, Forbes? I mean, would you say?
I think what's really cool about ghostwriting is that it's for the first time almost every time. It's
Yeah.
been the first time someone has seen their story presented to them in a way that they're so used to consuming other people's stories, right?
Hmm.
Like everyone, we read all these books, right? And then it's totally different when you see your story in a book and you're
Yeah.
reading it. Um, what do you think actually happens for those people when they see their story? Like for example, you helped Kimberly with her book, which is going to be a monster book coming out. What kind of transformation did you see happen on like a personal level from people
Yeah.
you've helped tell the stories of?
It's always such a compliment when you make someone cry, you know? So, I mean, you know me, like I have a really big ego. I have a very large personality, but I also have insecurities, right? So anytime I return a chapter to someone, I'm like, they're gonna hate it, they're gonna hate it, they're gonna hate it, right? Like
It's
that's
true.
just like my mind.
And they love it. They
And then
love it. They
and then
love
they're
it.
like, I'm
Exactly.
crying. It's so good, you
Exactly.
know my voice. And so I think that's the biggest compliment. But it's those things where you hear someone tell you a story about something that happened in their life, but they bypass the most important thing, right? Or the most memorable thing in their story.
Mm,
And they think that the golden nugget is something that isn't the golden nugget, right?
mhm,
It's that little detail that they told me in their story. that I like to pull out and be like, hey, look, let's talk about this.
Yeah.
This is really how you're going to be reached.
And it's usually in those nuggets that I've seen you pull out, it's like a perfect moment where it explains actually them.
Yeah.
You know, like people
Internally,
love, yeah, right. Because people shy away from
all
showing
the
that.
time. Yeah, yeah, all the time. Yeah, they're afraid of how they're going to be portrayed. Is what I think.
It's a vulnerability
It's
exercise.
totally vulnerable.
Well, it's what you guys both do at Extraordinary Stories. It's capturing their authentic moments.
Yeah.
That shows who they are and shows what it's their micro story that becomes a macro story that they're not seeing, but it's literally sharing that in a unique way.
Exactly. Yeah. That's why, like, for me, I don't know how I would ever write an autobiography. Like, I don't know how I would ever write about myself.
We can do that for you.
Yeah.
You get someone else to do it.
or you get someone else to do it, because it's just, you can't do it.
Well, that's interesting about, what have you noticed about telling, I mean, you're the guest, right? You're in the hot seat. You're telling your story. What's the difference between being the person who's the subject matter expert, the author, versus like the interviewer? Like, how have you noticed the difference between those positions?
You honestly, to be honest, it's a little bit easier being like just being able to talk here on a podcast. It's different than me having to write something down and really be vulnerable. Like there's so much vulnerability when you have a pen to paper. Whereas, like, I'm sitting here now and I don't have to worry about what questions I'm asking, right? Like, I get to just flow and answer. And I feel like most people do that too. So we interview, we do videos, right? And then we'll extract that way. And I think people who are on the other side of it, like I am now, there has to be like that level of trust. So I trust you guys, for example, but if I were anywhere else, I'd be like, shivering. But with you guys, I'm able to just kind of flow and tell you my stories because I trust you guys, right? That's something that you and I get automatically with these people, right? And they kind of just feel it with us. So when we're ghostwriting, it's that trust.
Yeah. Well, I think the trust is a reciprocal thing, right? Because we were looking back at, all the stuff that we've recorded for Extraordinary Stories, and we're like, wow, like, people are just so open, and we were almost like wondering, like, how did we do it, and it's because we're just authentic ourselves, and when authenticity lowers the guard down for everyone to be authentic.
Yeah, that's a very brilliant vibration to be at.
Well, we don't care about the rehearsed story, right? And I think it's
100%.
You want the chaos.
It's getting under those stories, and that's where you're so good at finding out what makes people human. Like we talk about be more human on this Extraordinary. That was part of it, is like, be of service, be more human, be curious, have fun. You're really not taking that serious.
Yeah.
What do you see for your future now as you're here sitting in the seat? You're normally sitting on here interviewing, extraordinary people. You're obviously an extraordinary story in the making. What do you see your extraordinary story for the future?
Yeah, the future is very exciting for me right now. In large part because of you guys. I know what you felt when you met him because I felt it when I met him.
Yeah.
It's this feeling
I
of.
hope you guys didn't feel the same thing.
You too. No, but it's like that. And I don't know what it is, Aaron, but you're just different, right? Anybody who's around you, they feel like they can do it. They could like actually do it, not
he's
just
the think
talk
big
about
guy.
it. He's the think big guy.
We do things here.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like when I met you, you're like, what's your dream? What do you want to do? And I'm like, well, I want to be home more. I want to work from home and I just want to write and I want to travel the world. And he's like, all right, let's do it. And quite literally, we just did it.
Yeah,
like,
right. Why not do it?
Why not do it?
Right.
And so, I've just, I love the opportunities that are coming at me because I have that spirit. And that's us at Extraordinary. Like, and we want to just give that to people. Like, you guys can do anything, share your stories, like collaborate with us. It's in both of our interests because we're both going to be human.
So then as that relates to the next chapter in your life, the next 10 years, what does that look like?
The next 10 years, I think you guys are right. I think I'm going to be big in the writing world and I'm not shy to say that anymore, I'm excited what I can do for children. They will always be at the fore. Like, children are everything to me. And so I'm so excited to just like, I'm a mom. That's just what I'm going to be anyways. And so now I get to be a super mom, right? And help other moms become super moms and rise up and fight for our children. So I want to change the world. That sounds really ambitious, but I am going to change the world, even if it's in my little
give
pocket.
a little bit more details because I know that you have a vivid
am I going to
future.
take over the world?
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. I'm going to stop the presses here. Christine has this ability to, I don't know if you're clairvoyant. It freaks me out. Okay. It freaks me out. Like the day after we had a Halloween party, Christine paints this illustrious picture of this woman I'm gonna meet, and it was
Spot on.
it
Yeah, no, it's
nailed it, dude. And I met her 3 weeks later,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I am a firm believer in whatever dark magic you got going on. So yeah, I
We
would
don't
love
talk
to.
about that here,
I
Forbes.
would
We don't
love
talk
to
about it.
hear what the.
I just honestly, once I've had my heart broken so many times. I've had so many shitty things happen to me, but they were never heartbreak. They were never shitty, right? Like
Mm,
nothing was ever good or bad. And so it's just kind of living in all of your emotions and taking them in and realizing that everything that's happened to you is for you. Otherwise, it wouldn't have happened,
mm.
right? So I'm just kind of loving life and I'm listening to my intuition and it's taking me to weird places and it's making weird,
she's very tapped into
I
something very, very
Yeah,
much bigger.
I
And
want to hear
it's
it.
but here,
intuition. It's just intuition.
so
That's all it is my
let's
intuition.
talk about your intuition over algorithm,
Totally.
and maybe digging it from this direction
Yeah.
is,
Mm,
as we look at a lot of people that are building their own personal brands and relying on AI, and they're losing themselves, they're losing their
mm,
spine, their backbone, they're losing who they are as
Yeah.
human beings because they're giving that power up to a machine.
Yeah.
Maybe explain a little bit of intuition over algorithm, how you can interject that for moms and how you can interject that for these extraordinary stories,
mm,
because you're working on two big, very big projects right now. And maybe what we want to extract from this is the real you, because I know what you're going to do and I want people to feel it, because I feel it when you talk about it with passion.
Mm-hmm.
Now's your time.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. um, Yeah, the intuition over algorithm. I think that we're in a world today where people are telling you what to do, and you don't even
mm,
know that they're trying to tell you what to do. Right? It's just in your feed. It's in your algorithm. It's in the news. It's everywhere. Right? Everyone is telling everyone what to do, and so nobody's taking the time. And I don't want to say nobody, but I think it's a lost art to just sit with yourself,
mm,
to just literally just sit with yourself, meditate, however that looks, take a walk, and connect with who you are, whether you like that person or not, and just address that person, be with that person, fall in love with that person, and then everything else falls into place. And then you kind of have clarity of like, this is what I'm meant to do,
mm,
and this is what I'm gonna do. And once you mix that with ambition, crazy, delirious ambition, then you can F and do anything. Like,
mhm.
you can quite literally do anything.
So what is your delirious ambition? Like, you're teasing out the story.
I'm gonna take over the world, Forbes.
Let's
No,
hear it.
I think just here at Extraordinary, what we have here, what we're building is phenomenal. I mean, there are so many podcasts out there. There are so
Mhm,
many businesses out there, but this one right here involves other people, right?
mm,
We're quite literally just speaking to people, hearing their story, and I promise you it's gonna make a difference in people's lives because it's gonna be relatable. We're gonna weave a web, and
mm,
Aaron, being the super collaborator that he is going to just create and build and build and build and connect the right people to build and build and build. And with you and your storytelling and me and my weirdness and all of us just kind of vibing together, we're going to take over the world in the best way possible, guys,
mhm,
for the goodness of everyone.
Well, and I think, being a super collaborator, super friend,
Yeah.
mhm.
super mom, we look at
That
our,
was
our
nice.
strengths.
I like that. That was good.
We know we're going to do extraordinary things. We know that the people that are nominated to our podcast are nominated other extraordinary people, and that's
Mhm,
growing. We know there's going to be more extraordinary hosts.
Yeah.
We know that we founded something very, very special,
Yes.
and that's where you, as a founder of extraordinary, as well as now, kind of taking on some leadership in Moms for America. What I think to get to this, because we're trying to peel back the onion here.
mhm,
You know, not only are you going to be, we definitely see many bestsellers in your future,
mhm,
but we see you creating a movement,
Yes.
mm,
and I see it because I see also the energy of people that come to you,
Yeah.
and
yeah,
that you're collecting, and that we have guests on, and then they're like, someone I know or whatever will say, and then they text me and is like, oh my God, I got to spend more time with Christine,
mhm,
and it's part of your intuition and your nature.
It's all it is. Yeah.
How do we share that in a nutshell? Because I like, from your perspective, is like your audacious, authentic, self, like you being yourself. How can you share maybe to our listeners is like what you're doing, how they could actually get a
mhm,
piece of that?
Yeah. Again, I can only speak for me, and how how so it's all to do with intuition. Me being a mom has created this drive and this desire to establish a movement, right? So you said movement. So to explain that a little bit further, Moms for America is all about teaching moms to open up the Constitution and really, really understand how the laws around us, how they're going to affect our children, right? And to love the Constitution because it's our holy grail of freedom. And so I think the movement is instilling that into our children now. What's the harm in that, right? Teaching your children to love the country, to vote, to listen to your intuition. Like
Mm,
moms, listen to your intuition. Like it's
mhm,
all intuition. It's all
mhm,
intuition. Listen to that gut. And a lot of moms are so stuck on a Instagram feed and they're not listening to the intuition. So it's like this movement of rising up
mm.
for your children, for that love, and your intuition is going to always lead you right. And so it's like this movement of intuition, of mother intuition.
So if I can connect some dots here, right? Everyone's telling you how to feel, how to think.
Correct.
That's
And
the
especially
algorithm.
when it comes to your children.
Right.
Nobody knows your child more than you do.
So when you're saying intuition is like if something feels off,
Yes.
you know, but everyone's telling you it's not, you have the ability to stand up and follow that intuition.
Correct. And you should. That's your God given right.
And so from connecting these dots, right, of what the movement is it sounds like as we relate to be more human,
Yeah.
your movement sounds like a return to, as you say, sitting with yourself, a return to understanding self, a return to what makes us human in the noise of all this tech and social media and media that we live in.
Yeah.
And so that's like, that is going to be how we take over the world is if we just follow her advice and we return to be more
Wait,
human.
I say yes to everything, and there's a reason. She's a very
Yes.
influential woman.
So we're going to do it whether or not you guys do it.
Okay.
She's telling you guys to do it, but we're definitely going to follow that advice.
Listen to moms everywhere. There's
Yeah.
I
Listen to
think
your
it's
gut.
the safe
Yeah.
bet. But I think in all reality, what I see, for your future is just incredible things.
Mhm.
I see, your leadership shining through here on the podcast, and as we meet world leaders and we have these incredible
Yeah.
conversations.
Mhm.
You taking the lead on some of our retreats, our summits, our dinners, creating these extraordinary experiences.
Yes.
And then, I see, Moms for America being lucky to have you as a mom that checks off so many different moms,
Mhm.
and someone that, wants a greater future for their children
Yeah.
is willing to sacrifice what she needs to now, which,
Yeah.
is your
And I
Mhm.
think another huge thing is like not being afraid anymore. Like, how scary is it to say, like, yeah, I'm conservative, right? Like, I don't care who you voted for. Like, I don't care. But like to say that you're conservative or that you're Republican is so deathly scary right now because we're afraid of being canceled, right? But I think that who cares anymore, right? We have to have these people who have ambition, right? Who say, this isn't right. We have to do something and let's speak up. Like, what are we doing hiding anymore? It's for the kids. If it's for the kids, rise up. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to be labeled anything.
Mm.
What is being a conservative and who cares, right? Like, you got to listen to your intuition and don't be afraid anymore. You can't be afraid. So, Republicans out there, I know this is really, really, really risky to say, but rise up. Like, we don't have to be afraid anymore. Like, I don't think we should be judging anyone based off of what side they lean on. So
Mm.
whether you're a liberal or a Republican, independent, whatever you are, again,
Mhm.
it doesn't matter. Like it's time to do something for the kids. It's a gross world out there. Let's make it right for them. They deserve that.
moms rise up.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So in that, as we kind of close this out, what is the one piece of advice,
Mm.
extraordinary piece of advice that you would give to our listeners from your perspective of
Mhm.
being a teacher, of
Mhm.
being a movement maker, of being someone who creates extraordinary events, tells extraordinary stories, extracts extraordinary stories, is a ghostwriter, is writing, has 10 books already down of your own that are going to be out published. What is that one piece of advice that you would want to give our listeners at Extraordinary
Mm.
Stories?
I think it would be again to listen to your gut, listen to your intuition. And if you don't know
Mm.
how to do that yet, if you're having trouble finding out what your discernment and like
Mm.
whose voice am I hearing? Is it my voice? Is it what I want to do? I think it's there. So it's not that it's not there, it's there. And the way you listen to it is just by sitting with yourself. It'll get real clear after you sit with
Mm.
yourself for a while. I meditate every morning in the backyard, and if I don't, I'm not
Slow
good.
mornings. Slow mornings, minimalism. You have a whole ideology around how moms can really get in touch with the future. And Christine is available to coach and consult moms out there.
Mhm.
I think there's a beautiful opportunity to come to a retreat with Christine as
Yes.
she
Mhm.
leads a writer's retreat, but also extraordinary pieces of helping people with their mindset and health. And I think we're so excited that you've come into my life. You've made my life extraordinary.
Made my life extraordinary for
My
sure.
potential and Ford's potential is only greater with you in it.
Mhm.
I think everybody out there, as they recognize people that help them with their potential,
Mhm.
and honestly get out of their own way, you
Mm.
realize is how big the world you can be. And you're just one of those people that do that for you and all your friends. Not all your friends, see that, but it literally is to help people open up
Yeah.
Mm.
so that they can see a bigger world for themselves and understand they can make a bigger impact. And that's where I think it's going to be an exciting next 10 years of your life, but of our life,
Oh, yeah.
of all of our lives, because we're in an extraordinary
Yeah.
position doing extraordinary things, having fun every day.
Mhm.
We know it's not that serious, and we know that we can make a huge impact
The only
by
rule
just
is
being
have fun.
curious.
Yeah.
So, with that, thank you for tuning in to Extraordinary Stories. I'm Aaron Bear.
I'm Forbes Shannon.
And I'm Christine Butler.
And you can read more about Christine Butler at joinextraordinary.com, JoinExtraordinary.com, and Join Extraordinary on all our socials. Thanks, Christine.